your horror movie podcast.
How we doing, Justin?
Apparently not as good as you because that was quite an intro. But yeah, no, I'm doing good. I'm ready to talk.
You ready to talk? We are talking Get Away from me, please. This is a 2024. I think it was called horror comedy.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if I want to classify it as a horror comedy just yet. But if you want any hint as to what this movie is about, #, I'm not gonna fucking tell you. You want to know why? Because if you look at Justin's backdrop, we could see our Shaun of the Dead characters sipping on some juice boxes.
Let's go.
This family goes away for a getaway. That's why I guess the movie is called Getaway. I just realized that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm off the rails right now. Yeah, dude, I picked this movie just because it was on Shudder. We were on a Shudder stretch, and it was fairly new. I had seen this floating around some horror communities, so I was like, fuck it, man. I want to check this out. I like them as actors. Let's get it. So my expectations going into this were a flat 5 because a 5 for a shout out for Waterboy, who just bought his first house. Golf clap.
There we go. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations. Justin, did you have any expectations at all going into this, or did you just want to drop a dad joke?
Yeah, all right, ready? Listen to this. Okay. What did the yoga instructor say to the landlord who kicked him out of the house?
All right, so you mess up your words sometimes. Did you say yogurt instructor or
right,
yoga?
Ready? Hold on, let's do this again. Right, ready? What did the Oh my God, this is so the worst time. Now I have to finish it because this is
this is the best.
All right, hold on. What did the yoga instructor say to the landlord who was kicking him out of the apartment? Namaste. Namaste.
Do you know what's horrible, dude? Is Kristen has a coffee mug that literally says Namaste in bed. And I almost used that over the Top Gun mug tonight.
Oh my God, that would have been perfect. Also, could you please edit that joke to make it? Could you put a laugh box in too to make it everyone's?
Yeah, I'll put the audience in the background like you see on sitcoms.
Thank you. Definitely don't make this into a clip and embarrass me. Anyway, all right, sorry, Get Away. Yeah, so I didn't even watch the trailer. I knew nothing about this. I was I guess I'd say I was hoping to be a 5 and a 5.5 because I do like Nick Frost. That's all I knew. Knew nothing about it. Went in 100% blind, so no expectations at all.
Hey, Justin.
Yo.
What did the grape say when you stepped on it?
What?
Nothing. It just let out a little whine because we opened to a crying baby and a scared mother. And it looks like a bunch of drunk turncoats drinking and laughing and eating. Bro, one of them's eating an entire fucking ham. Like a full ham bone. Like shit you serve on Easter. I'm like, what is this already? And they're just pointing and laughing, and it's all at her expense. And then we see this creepy ass mask. And I'm like, I love this mask. It's dope. It looks like something out of a Tim Burton movie. And then it goes into not a title card, but a definition card. And the word is svalta, meaning to starve or to famish. A secluded Swedish island where in the 19th century, a terrible tragedy occurred. And that's the sweetest definition. Then, like any horror movie, we fast forward 200 years because no one gives a fuck what happened in those 200 years. We want to know what's going on right now. And what's going on right now is a goddamn family road trip. And mom's reading the entire car some fun facts about the island they're visiting for their vacation. The kids, though, like typical kids, dude, they're glued to their phones. They really don't give a fuck until the mom mentions that people either starved or turned to cannibalism. And during this little quarantine thing that happened on this island 200 years ago, and Sam, the son, pokes his head up and he's thoroughly intrigued and he wants a death toll. And unfortunately, Wikipedia does not give death tolls. So sorry, Sam. But it turns out the island then celebrates this festival of quarantine. I don't know how to say what it's really called in Swedish. I butchered it.
Quarantine?
Yeah, quarantine. I butchered it trying to say it. So I was like, I'm just going to call it the Festival of Quarantine because that's what it translates to.
Yes.
But they celebrate it every 10 years, bro, for 8 hours. It's an 8-hour play. And these kids are like, I fucking hate the theater. Like, I don't want to do this. Now the family does arrive at what looks like an abandoned shack. Justin, I hope you got your red flags up because I'm not going in there.
No.
Fuck it, absolutely not. But I guess this little abandoned shack thing with like 2 cars and a gravel parking lot is an actual restaurant, and this family's hungry. And the mom, Susan, she's struggling to speak Swedish. It's almost like Justin trying to speak English. And she attempts to order some burgers and beer. And like even Sam, who's a vegetarian, tries to order like a veggie burger. And the dude is like, you can have patties made of meat or you can have patties made of sea. And he's like, well, what's in the sea patties? And he said something. And he's like, I'll just stick to chips, please. It's so uncomfortable. And what you should not do in a situation like this, I hope you've trained your kids, Justin, is don't let them go wandering around the premise so they can stumble across a seagull who's had its head fucking ripped off.
Ugh.
And Jessie does the logical thing. She takes a picture and walks away. No fucks given.
No.
0. They finish up lunch, and this man is a harbinger of death if I've ever seen one. When this family says they're going to the island, this man literally drops all the plates, the glasses, like everything shatters on the floor. And he goes, it's forbidden. You must not go during quarantine festival. They ignore him and they start showing him this like cute little Airbnb they're going to stay in. And he's like, foreigners on the island of the festival is like serving pork chops at a bar mitzvah. And I'm like, all right, well, great analogy, bro. But he's like telling him, he's like, dude, like, do not go. Like, dude, I'm begging you, get in
This
your
is
car
like Friday the
around.
13th. This is like Friday the 13th when there's always like that creepy old man that's just like, don't go to the camp. Like, this is like the death warning. Like, don't go.
Yeah. Like, harbinger times 1,000.
Yeah.
Then they go to purchase their tickets, and they ask for 4 return tickets as well. And our ticket lady just takes their names because she's like, y'all not coming back, but I might as well get your names so we know who died. And
Yeah,
the mom's like, well, why do you need my name? And she's like, well, it's for a passenger log, you know, in case the boat sinks and we all die.
Yeah.
But even there, like, you don't want to go there. Like, bro, this is the second person that's telling you, no, please do not go there.
Red flag after red flag in this movie.
Then they get on the ferry, and this shit has got to be the most uncomfortable thing ever. They're all just sitting there, and the entire ferry is staring them down like they've got shit on the bottom of their shoe. And there's no expression, no nothing. They're all looking at them like they're already dead. And this changes into the family getting up uncomfortably and walking away to some family bonding time, bro. We even get a reenactment of the fucking Titanic scene. And it's not the dad holding the mom. It's the mom holding the dad.
Dad, as he's up there like this. Oh my God.
I'm like, all right, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this. They do make it to the island, bro. And they're not even off the dock before this back and forth between them and the island residents. It's not very friendly at all. They basically tell them to get on the ferry and leave. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Can this family not take a hint? They couldn't take a hint, bro, if they got licked in the face with it. Because that's what happens in this scene. This old lady literally tells them, like, you're not welcome. You shouldn't be here. It wasn't cleared with the tribal, like the council. Like, you don't infringe upon our, heritage, our festivities.
Yeah.
And they're just like going at it. And they're treating this family like straight shit.
Yeah, like right here. Let's just talk about another red flag. If you bring your family to a vacation and you get there and the whole village is staring at you and an old woman comes out and licks you in the face, and there's still a ferry waiting for you that gives you an out that you can turn on and take and go back.
Take it.
Take the ferry. Holy shit. I'm giving you all the red flags. Oops.
All
the red flags.
It's stuck.
Oh, I just dropped my mic. All right, sorry. Go ahead. I just broke.
Well, since Justin's still got a red flag on the camera, obviously this shit like hit me in the face just like it hit Justin in the face, and it's still on the camera.
My bad.
But this family does not take any social cues at all. And then finally, this dude, Mats, shows up just in time to save this family from any more awkward interactions. And he tells the Islanders he's rented his mother's house to them for the weekend. When they get up to the house, this dude is like depressed and like you can tell he's saddened. And he starts telling them of his mother and father's love story and the wedding in February. And the daughter, Jessie, goes, "That sounds so romantic." And he goes, "Yeah, it was negative 25 degrees outside. And mother's boat got stuck in ice. So them in high heels and dresses had to walk across the water. And my dad had to walk across the water. And they got married on the ice." And I was like, that's kind of cool, though. That's like a cool story. All right.
Go.
And then they're like, "Is the mom still with us?" And he goes, "No, she died. She's 91. And the mom goes, "Nice long life, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, but wrong. No, she was beheaded in that chair." And we look, and Richard is not only
He's
sitting
like...
in the chair, he's like stuck in it. Like he can't get out. Yeah, these kids now go upstairs and they're wandering around and they try to find their bedrooms. And then Jessie realizes they've got no cell signal. All right, setting up. All right, I like this. All right, cool. You know, and Sam responds with a very true statement of course you don't have cell signal. We're in a Swedish horror film." And I was like, all right, self-aware. I get it. But I can't tell right now, Justin,
Yeah.
if these exchanges that's going on in the movie between Mats and Jessie are flirtatious or if they're just fucking creepy.
Dude, at this point, all right. So
they meow. He meows at her. Meow.
I literally wrote, I don't know what, I wrote 24 minutes in. The only note I took during your whole entire note, I wrote 24 minutes in. I have no clue what the fuck is happening. Like, I kind of like this build. There's some cool stuff happening, but I literally don't know what, like, I literally wrote, I have no clue, like, where this is even going. That's my notes I took during your side.
Yeah, it was just so fucking creepy.
Yeah,
but I did enjoy, like, how Susan asks on Matt's way out the door. She's like, he comes downstairs and she's like, "Hey, did you get those things I asked for?" He's like, "Yeah, I got everything." And she's like, "Oh, I can't wait to make chicken paprika. This shit ain't gonna make itself." And he's like, "Oh, then I did not get paprika." She goes, "All right, I can work with that." And as he's walking away, and he goes, "Didn't get chicken either." I'm like, what the fuck did you get, man?
So weird.
And then right here, Justin, I'm starting to think this town is gonna set them up to become cannibals, like to starve. They're gonna try and starve them out and make them eat each other. Like that's why I'm like, all right, so this dude didn't get them any food. They're on a quarantine island. Something's gonna happen. Maybe where they get locked in this house, they can't get out. They turn to starvation. Like that's where my head's going right now with this movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to think too. I'm so confused.
But we get more family bonding time downstairs, and I love this scene. Sam and Jessie are going at it, and Sam looks at his mom and goes, "Will you tell Jessie to stop fucking touching me?" And she goes, "Stop fucking touching your brother." And the mom, like, he's like taken back that his mom swore, but they've got no phones and they don't know what to do. So Jessie decides to take a magazine upstairs to go soak in the tub. This doesn't last long, however, though, because she's creeped out by like it sounded like a dragging sound. It was just very creepy. So she's like staring blankly into a mirror, and we get this cool transition effect into her in bed with some ominous music and POV style shot going on through the bedrooms. Know you love that POV shit, Justin.
Let's go.
But she's got a mirror like above the bed on the ceiling. I mean, someone likes to watch themselves fuck.
Right?
I mean, why else would you have it there?
I'll say, what is this, like American Psycho?
Seriously. So Richard and Susan wake up to a legit village of people with fucking torches, black robes, banging drums, and that creepy ass mask that we saw in the opening scenes. Right now, dude, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Is this where shit pops off? No, it's not. They just decided, hey, I know we forgot the chicken, but here's some raccoon. Because they throw a dead ass raccoon on the doorsteps and they all just walk away. Bro, if this is me and I'm this family right now, dude, I'm arming up. I'm finding this boat. I'm trying to get off this island. Better yet,
flags.
I wouldn't have gone to this island because there's been about 836,000 warnings not to go on your entire fucking road trip. Richard, though, tries to bond with Jessie first thing in the morning. And he even tells her about, back in my day, I partaked in the cannabis. And Jesse gets all like covert ops, and she turns on the sink and she starts telling him that, I think we're being watched. She actually gets kind of like worked up from it. And she's just not quite buying what's being sold to her on this island. And they settle down and they look at each other, and she starts to walk away. And Richard says, "Hey, about that whole cannabis thing, like, don't do it." And Jesse goes, "Yeah, I tried it once. It's really not my thing." And as she's walking away, Richard, out of curiosity, goes, "Well, what is your thing?" Bro, she turns around and goes, "Cocaine and fat dicks." Not only does Richard spit out his coffee, but there's someone watching them on a closed caption TV. He chokes on his coffee the same time as Richard and spits it all over the screen.
So they are being watched. I do not understand this family dynamic.
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on right now? Like,
Yeah.
I'm so like, there's pieces of this puzzle, and I'm trying to fit an edge piece with an edge piece with an edge piece, and none of these edge pieces are making. I don't fucking know.
No, a lot of edging going on.
All right, so pissed off Richard, moderately pissed off because he does not like confrontation. He goes down to Max's house, which is like, it almost looks like a in-law down away from the mother's house, to discuss the events of last night. He even gives the dead raccoon to Matt's because Richard said he felt like that was a threat to get off the island. And Matt's goes, "No, don't worry. It's like a traditional welcome to the islands." And I'm like, what kind of fucking welcome is that?
Right.
But this family hiking trip now is them taking pictures with gravestones. Justin, you know all too well about this activity, don't you?
I do kind of, yeah.
Yeah, no denial. We get a cutscene though to an absolute massacre at that little diner our family had lunch at before. Did someone, like, this is what I have in my notes. I was like, did someone kill them for warning our family? That was my first thought. And I was like, or is like our family a bunch of psychopaths, like the Goody Good family from Low Lifes? Like,
Yeah.
is that what's going on? Still trying to feel out the movie. And I'm like, nah, dude, it can't be them because Richard can't even fight off a fucking seagull. And then while they're on this hike, their go-to drink isn't something like nourishing like Gatorade or Powerade or water or anything like that. Nah, bro, it's fucking juice boxes.
Juice boxes. Let's
It's
go.
literally the picture behind Justin. Then he busts out his like bird watching, binoculars, and he sees a small boat pull up to the dock. And this boat has 4 wooden coffins they're unloading. Our family brushes it off though because, like, hey, someone must have died on the island. That's just must be what they do, right, honey? It's not like they've threatened us. They've left dead raccoons. They've told us to leave. They've made all kinds of gestures towards us, threatening, non-threatening, uncomfortable, you name it. They've done it. Oh wait, there's 4 members of this family to go for those 4 wooden coffins. What? Leave, please. Swim away if you need. But speaking of swimming, dude, these kids decide to go for a swim. And this gives Susan and Richard a time for some family bonding. And she just looks at him and goes, "You want a blowjob?" And he's like, "What?" And she's like, "Do you want a blowjob?" And he gets excited and he's like, "Yeah, yeah." And then we see James Bond arrives on like his speedboat to the dock. And James Bond is actually Detective Forsberg. And he shows up asking about someone who was just recently released from prison and may be responsible for the murders down at the ferry. This goes right into Richard's blowjob scene, to Matt spanking his spam in his fucking mother's wardrobe. What kind of movie did I pick, Justin? Because right now I'm like, what?
Yeah, so I did take a note on the scene too. I wrote, what the fuck, Sean? What am I watching? I still have no clue what's going on. And now this guy spanking it and just watching people through mirrors as people get blowjobs. Like, what is happening?
Oh my God. But the detective interrupts play rehearsal and asks Clara, the crazy elderly lady from earlier, about the murders and a potential suspect that may be on the island. She warns him to leave though and not come back. And he responds to her with something a lot less threatening than what she's been doing. He goes, "I'd hate to see you do something rash and lose your head over it." I was like, is this foreshadowing? Maybe. But this definitely sounds like a backhanded threat. But he does get in his boat and he goes home. He takes his big boy boat and he goes home.
He goes.
Jesse and Sam walk into another diner and they mock this poor guy making waffles. Igmar isn't too happy about it, and he informs them that coming to this island was the biggest mistake of their lives. He actually gets kind of threatening, and then more of the villagers walk in behind them, and Jesse gives him the most backhanded insult you could ever give someone cooking you food. She goes, "These waffles are dry." And he goes, "My waffles are moist." Oh my God. And they Sally sprinkle their way out of this sticky situation right outside, and they bump into even more of these hooded and masked up nut jobs. One of them drops a coffin, and they all make like the throat slitting gesture towards them. Like, "You're gonna die. These coffins are for you." I think even like the coffins say, like, for the outsiders or whatever.
Yeah,
I forgot to write down what it said.
Did it say like for the lying English or something? Or
yes,
the lie,
yes.
something like that?
Something along those lines, referring to the family of four.
Yeah, yeah.
These kids get back to the house, and we see that Matt's is just upstairs, lingerieing around in Jesse's bed. See what I did there? Instead of laying around, it's lingerieing in Jesse's bed, dude. This gave me the heebie-jeebies because this dude Matt's is giving off like Swedish Buffalo Bill vibes from Silence of the Lambs.
I wrote that.
Like, I'm expecting at one point we're gonna get like, I don't know, would you do me? Do me.
Yeah, I do not like this guy at all. This guy scares the shit out of me.
He's rocking he's rocking his mother's bathrobes. He's like pencil thin, just like Buffalo Bob.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bill, whatever. All the same shit. They all creep me out. But Jesse knows that something is off, and she even accuses Sam of stealing her underwear. And he goes, "Why would I do that? I'm gay." And right here, my mind starts like, what? Because she's like, "Oh, I didn't know that about you." And he goes, "Yeah, there's a lot you don't know about me." And I'm like, "You guys look like you're 18, 19, like in that age. How do you not know your brother is gay?"
Dude, I've never been confused. I'm like, are they adopted? I'm so confused. I'm like, are they adopted? Like, is one of them like I literally thought like one of them's from the dad's family. I thought like parents must have just got together. Like I'm so confused.
Yeah, because even earlier on in the movie, there's one scene where he goes, "Can we be adopted?" And she turns around and goes, "You can."
You can't. Yeah, like you are.
Like there's little things in this movie that leave you like head scratching. Like, what is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, so I just assume.
He goes away, and bro, Sam stands in front of this giant mirror, and she breathes on it, and then she draws a heart, and she stares like very seductively, and then does that like lip biting thing, almost as if she knows someone's watching. Bro, and this sick fuck Mats licks the mirror and moans right into Justin's turn. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. What are we watching?
We're at like the 40-minute mark, and I don't know what is happening. I'm gonna go pee real fast.
Grossed out.
I like disgusting right now, and I'll be right back.
Hack stab slash P joke of the day. What did the Coffee's police report say? It got mugged.
All right.
You back? You all flushed out?
I'm good. Whew. Sorry. Drink a lot of coffee, and I make sure I hydrate right when I wake up.
Apple juice boxes.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Yo.
So I'm gonna instill, because you take pee breaks all the time.
Yep.
I did one while you were away.
Okay.
I call it Justin's pee break of the day. Dad joke.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you it to see if it's worth leaving in.
What, you did a joke? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, while you were away.
Okay.
What did the Coffee's police report say?
The Coffee's?
Yes. Police report say.
I have no clue.
Nothing. Well, what did the Coffee's police report say? Let's try this again.
This is as bad as me. I don't know, Sean. What?
Got mugged.
That's good. That's good. We're gonna lose all our subscribers, but I love it. That's like a third dad joke of the. I'm so excited. Incorporating dad jokes in a horror podcast, like I ain't seen that shit before. Let's fucking go. Okay, so now after that disturbing friggin' ass scene, we see the creepy old island woman. Now she is talking to the villagers. They are practicing the Karantan, and she is just all cult insane talk. She is talking about the custodian of the tradition. She doesn't have much time left. She's gonna eventually have to pass the torch. She says there's an opportunity to close the circle. Like, The English must be offered. This is going to be the greatest Karantan ever. And you can tell some of the people are kind of like, what the hell? Like that younger kid's like, well, we don't want to like kill people. I thought we were just like trying to scare them.
Rose
And
says they haven't killed anyone for 30 years.
yeah, they said
So
for
they
30
used to
years.
do this shit all the time?
All the time. Like they talk about like nothing. They're like, this is like the new wave. Like we haven't done this in 30 years. And she snapped. She's like, don't
Just real
fuck
quick,
this up for me.
Hackstab slash dude. 30 years ago was what, 1984?
Yeah.
No,
Just
1994. My
94,
bad.
94, 94. Um, and she snapped. She's like, don't fuck this up for me. Like they die. And then we see all of a sudden she like corners Matt's in like a little market thing, and she's basically like looking at him, and she's like, "Hey, we all know like you're a drunk, you're a druggie, you prey on weakness, you're a pervert, you're a pig." And she goes, "We see that, but you know what? We let it go. You know why? Because you're one of us. But we need some help this year." She's like, "We're gonna eat roast beef the old way, if you know what I mean." And he's even like, we haven't done that in 30 years. And she's like, you know what, you know what you have to do, and like throws him like some ingredients. She's like, make the cookies. What? Okay. So then we flash forward to
Bro,
Zero.
she kisses him on the way out the door.
Yeah,
And my
kisses
notes
him.
go, I bet she tastes like stale coffee and tuna fish.
So seriously. So now it flashes on the screen like where it goes down from 1 days to 0 days to quarantine. And in this beginning, we got the mask wearing drummers. We see the English arriving on boats. There's people in giant duck outfits. And there's also
I
breakfast.
said that too, because Kristen came in to watch this with me at that point in time. And I was like, holy shit, is that Mother Goose?
Yes, dude, we're 45 minutes in this movie, and I don't understand what's going on. And there's also breakfast time for the family, and it is their big day. They're actually pretty cheerful. And it is also another weird thing where we see like the son basically calls like the daddy an egg, and he's like the mother's like, don't call daddy an egg, and he's like, I'm not, and he's like offended. He gets like you can see like the daddy's like upset that he got called an egg. Weird as shit. As this is happening, we see all the islanders arriving. They're like sitting on bleachers for the big quarantine and everything. And we see the family walking outside. Matt is actually greets them, and he's like, "Hey, it's quarantine time. Like, I got food for you guys. Like, let's go." And he's got his tray of cookies, and they're like, "Oh, we're going swimming." And he's like, "You guys aren't gonna miss it, right?" And they're like, "Oh, no. We're gonna
It's
get
like,
back
it's
for-"
fucking 8 hours long.
Yeah, like we're gonna come back for like the exciting conclusion. Like, we're just gonna go swimming and everything." And you see him, he's like, "Oh, okay." So he walks in the house and drops it off and everything. And like, what the fuck? So it's quarantine time. I literally wrote, what the fuck, Sean? Like, we got this insane play. We got a giant duck that's just running around and like laying eggs all over this, like, the
Big
stage.
golden eggs.
Big golden eggs. The family swimming. The production on this quarantine's insane. We got fake snow shooting around and everything. And I mean, they're really acting like this is like some deep stuff. The family gets back to the house. There's a little note that says, still warm, please eat. We see 4 cookies. And it's flashback in between this and cutting to like the play that's happening. We see the family, they start eating the cookies. We see Matt is watching them through the cameras. And you even see like, I think the daughter's like, oh, this is like dry. And he's like, fuck you, they're dry. And all of a sudden, the family is knocked out now. They are all just laying around, and we see Matt's arrive. And for the love of God, dude, he's wearing her underwear. Like he's wearing the daughter's underwear. The play, they're all singing "God Save the King." We're getting cuts back and forth between this. We see Matt in the daughter's underwear, getting into bed with the daughter, like so freaking creepy. And then we flash to the play. As the play is happening, it is the time where the 4 of them die. They're like slicing these 4 people's like throats, like jokingly, like they have like blood spraying stuff and everything as part of the play. There's blood shooting everywhere at the quarantine. As the people in the quarantine die, they have the coffins there, and they start eating like the fake organs and everything. And
This is like a Guar concert all over again.
Yeah, this is 100. That's the way to say it. There is just blood shooting everywhere. You're at a Guar concert. As this is happening, it flashes to the family, and the daughter opens her eyes as creepy as Matt's is in there. And all of a sudden now we got flashes of the diner of the family killing everyone and slicing them off and cutting the pigeon's head off. And all of a sudden we see that with the cookies, they did not eat the cookies. And all of a sudden the whole family is in the daughter's room with giant Rambo knives, and they stab Matt to death 37 and a half times. So as the Carentan's blood is shooting everywhere, now we have Matt's getting killed by them. Like,
Fun fact: Justin did count those hack stab slashes. ADHD was in full effect.
let's go. Yeah, let's go. And I don't even know what's happening because all of a sudden now it is hiking time. The four families walk outside. They're apparently like ninjas. They got knives everywhere. And what's us playing? Iron Maiden kicks in. We literally have Run to the Hills, Iron Maiden coming. Why am I screaming? There is
so good.
slicing everywhere. Like, dude, the villagers are running around. They are throwing axes, taking people out. They are slicing throats. So many slicing neck throats. Like, they are having a blast. Iron Maiden, like, this is so epic. We waited a long time to get here, but
it has finally arrived. Let's go.
It has finally arrived. We get some action, and then we see like the kids go to like the communication tower and stuff, and they're acting like, oh my god, like our parents got stabbed and stuff. And,
bro,
like,
they're trying so hard not to laugh about it.
Dude, they're like having
like,
so much
right,
fun.
Serious face, serious.
Yeah, like, like, oh my god, they're dead. And like the poor woman opens the door and she's like, oh my god, come in here, kids, come in here. They stab her like. Luckily, they only stabbed her 7.5 times, but it's still, effective. Killed her. And then what do? They take selfies. They take freaking selfies with her. As all this has happened, old creepy ass woman, she's not backing down with her sons there.
She's the only one on this island that wants to fight back. Bro,
Everyone
you are an
else-
island full of people,
Everyone
severely
else
outnumbered.
is running out for their life besides her. And her makes her son. Her son's like, I gotta go get my shotgun. They shoot flares in the sky. As the flares in the sky, we flash to the family. I mean, it's nighttime, so the flares look pretty badass. The parents are slow dancing. They are having a moment. The family is like on like just like all together now, and they're watching a bunch of them hide. Like most of them they've already killed, but there's like 5 of them are left or something. They go into a house, and out of them, they also like people dress up. They got like a giant duck. One of the guys is in a spider costume. One of them's in like a rat costume.
Dude, this kind of reminds me of, remember Willy's Wonderland when they're killing the animatronics?
Yes.
That's
So
what
you
it
got
reminded me of.
all these people in costumes going in this. And the family are like laughing. Like, dude, they're banging on the door now of the house, like scaring them, like giggling. And like just joking and having a freaking blast to the point where they're like they're reaching their arms in the door, just messing with them to the point where they're like just stabbing through the doors. They actually end up stabbing the crazy old woman, like not to death, but they get a little part of her. And he's like, let's go, let's go. And inside, I've never been more confused in my life. Inside, they start stabbing back and they grab a sword. And I had to watch the scene like 3 times because they stab a sword through the door. And it gets the dad.
It goes like directly
Bro,
just through the tips of his cheeks.
Through his cheeks, through his mouth.
He's pissed, dude, because he lost a crown.
He's like, someone knocked my crown out. Bro, just got a sword through the mouth. It doesn't even act like I'm so confused. Like,
Didn't even phase him.
I've never been more confused by a movie in my whole entire life. Anyway, it just pisses them off more. They break in. There's like, I don't even know if there's like Spanish music playing on right now. The music is wild that's going on in the background. And we have the family just chasing these people around. The daughter beheads like that younger dude in the waffle stuff, slices his head off. There's a person in a duck costume. They like slice his beak off. That slices this person's face off.
Dude, I love how when they slice the beak off, it looks like the whole head was in the beak, because when they slice it, it looks like everything is gone off the beak.
Yeah,
like it was actually part of him.
That looked really cool. The guy dressed up as Spider-Man, the spider, yeah, he's dead. The rat, they stabbed the shit out of the rat.
I felt bad for the rat. It looked innocent.
Poor rat in the corner, all innocent.
Like, please, please.
And then the dad had to like take a piss on it or something. I don't even know what's going on. The detective, there's distress signals going out now. We see the detective gets a call back, and they're basically like, hey, look, there's a slaughter in Svalta. Like, you got to get there like right away. So this dude suits up. He's not messing around.
Dude, Justin,
yo,
just to back up real quick to the pee scene.
Yeah.
Before they break into the cabin thing.
Yeah.
When he was like, oh, I really got to use the bathroom. And they were like, just piss your pants.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, because then I'm all wet and pee and yucky.
Yeah.
And they're like, bro, you are a psychopath. You are a murdering psychopath. And he's like, yeah, but I don't want to pee my pants.
Weirdest dialogue ever. I don't. It's just
you have that conversation when you're at work. Like when BT, someone's like, we got to throw these parcels, system. You're like, but I got to pee.
Yeah, talked to BT about it. Anyway, so at this point, as the detective's like, all right, he's going to the island. We see the family now. They're like, they got fires. They're like burning shit, and they're all like sitting on a log, just having a good time. But the dad also does say, talk to the son, and he's like, "Hey, you got on my nerves like a lot on this trip." And he gets like pissed, like really angry out of nowhere.
Tells him to like
And
go fuck himself.
yeah, he literally is like, "Fuck you, son," or should I say, Ian? And he stabs him in the neck, like with a knife, like stabs him in the neck, and like Ian is like falling over and bleeding out and dying. And the mom's like, "Oh, that was naughty. Oh God, that was naughty." And he's like, we shouldn't even brought him back for the trip. Like his hygiene sucks." And like you hear Ian mutter something like, "It's because I have like ADHD," and now the dad, he's like, "Now you have
Now you got
DAD,"
DEAD.
which which I'm sorry is the greatest line I've ever seen. I'm
I
so
love it
so
so
confused,
much.
but I love that. And the mom's just like, "Oh God," they're like, "Now we have to find a new brother." Like, damn it. And the mom's like, "I just wanted to come to the island, kill a few people, and drink my wine." Like, what? What?
Doesn't she
Eh,
mention like now she has to call the international like cleanup crew or something to come in here and take care of him?
Yeah, she's like, "Now we have to call in like the cleanup crew, and then never mind, like we have to
What
find
kind
a
of
new."
campfire are they sitting around, Justin, while this is all happening?
Are they burning people? I forget. There's
Yeah,
a
it
lot
is a
happening.
stack of dead bodies that
Dead
is on
bodies.
fire.
Yeah, they're burning people. And then as they like step away to walk away, like, dude, like, remember how he got called an egg earlier? Like, he looks at like the sun on the ground. And he's like, "Now who's an egg?" Like, bro, don't call this
He
dude an
is
egg.
so pissed.
Do not call this guy an egg. So anyway, at this point now, we still the old creepy woman's still alive with her son and the shotgun, and
Another shot glass.
yeah, that makes just
Shot,
yeah,
shot, shot, shot,
yeah,
shot.
what is even happening? They're still alive. We see the boats are racing to the island, and now the three of them are back at the house. And the mother's like, "You know who I'm just so proud of?" Like they're talking about like their daughter. Like, "We're so proud of her. Like she's doing so good." And I don't even know what her name is at this point. They call her like M, or they call her real name, like Jessie. Like she's like, "I think she's ready to lead her first Trojan horse." They're like, "This is just so exciting." And even the dad's like, "You know what? Congrats. Like you've done awesome." Like now at this point, we see the detective. The detective is on the island, and there are, dude, all the heads are on like poles and stuff. They
Dude,
like
it
put
is
these
brutal.
like
This
holy
is like some
psychopaths.
Mad Max fucking psychopath Ghost of Mars type shit.
It's all goes to Mars. Yes, I'm like, God, I forgot about that shit.
Well,
Anyway,
with all the heads on the pike on like the
yes,
ridge line.
when they
Yes.
first find it, oh my God. So like the crazy old woman and her shotgun son, they're walking around through the house and everything, kind of like chasing around, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And the daughter pops out and they blast her like right in like the stomach, it looks like, and like she falls down now. So like she is shot. And she's like, "Stop, stop, like Max, he killed everyone. Like he killed everyone. Like it was him, like he killed my brother." And all of a sudden we see like they all right, so they leave the injured daughter, and we see that like the mom runs in. She's like, "Baby, like, are you okay? Are you okay?" And they basically say like Matt's like 8 people and stuff. They're throwing it all at him. So the shotgun son is walking around, and he's in the room now, and he sees the bed and it's all covered in blood. And we see Matt. He pulls back, and Matt is cut to pieces. We see Matt is
Not even like a
completely.
torso. It's like just guts everywhere and then his head and like an arm.
Yeah, this like complete, like absolutely insane. And we see like the dad is like crying and like he's like sleeping. And then he's like, basically, we gotta like surprise sucker, and he jumps up and he slices the dude's throat. But the dude also shoots him at the same time, and his arm, his hand, is like,
Takes
dude,
him
his
from like the elbow down,
elbow
takes it
down.
clean off.
But he's still like this dude is like, is he supernatural at the same time?
He's,
He's
he's
like,
just like, ah, fuck.
He's just lost half his arm, and he's like, "Ah, fuck!" And he walks in, and like like his wife sees him, and he's like, "Oh, now you got a wank southpaw." Like that's what you see, like, and he's like,
Dude,
"Too
I love
soon."
that line so much.
She's like, "Oh my God, now you get a wink southpaw," and he's like, "Too soon, too soon. Come on, like that's not funny." So now the three of them, they all surround the creepy old woman. And she's like, "I know what this is." She's like, "This is the real performance right now. This is it. All that other stuff was practice." And she grabs the knife and like screams in like slow motion for like ever. And she's like, as the detective walks in, the detective blows her head off. Her head explodes. And you see the three of them right away, like, "Oh my God, like she killed our son. She killed our son." Like, and the cops like, "Okay, okay, like we have to leave right now. We have to leave right now. Like, let's go." Scoots the family off to the boat. The boat, they're speeding off, and as we see the boat speeding off, we see more cops are arriving on boats and everything. And we even see like the random drunk survivor like pass
Yeah,
out through all
that's
this
who the
homicide
detective
slaughter.
was looking for. I couldn't find his name.
Yeah, I don't even know his name. This creepy, like he like pops up and they like all blast him 100 times
Dude,
and like
they shoot him in the back like 37 times
let's
while
say
he's running away.
he gets shot 37 times, and we basically see like the family is like all just like cuddling together. Never mind, this dude should be bleeding. Didn't she get shot by a shotgun? I have so many questions, but we'll
See,
talk about that
my
later.
thing is these guys are professionals, so there's no way she wasn't wearing a flak jacket.
Yeah, like it just and like basically the mom's like, like a family who slays together stays together.
Dude, how did the detective not hear that?
I have so many questions about this.
They're
And then-
literally getting hit in their face with this windbreaker as they're driving away on
Yeah.
the boat. They're that close to him.
the end. Game over. Movie over. Sean, talk about this first. What the?
Dude, the ending credits, that song, I love it. I actually want to find it so when we make a promo, we can use that song.
Yeah.
But all right, so this entire front half of this movie is just one giant puzzle. And it's not like putting pieces together to figure out what's going on type of puzzle. I mean, I genuinely had no idea how I felt about this at all. It was like very dreary, very monotone, like type comedy, like mixed in. It just everything in this world screamed at them, don't go. But this family obviously can't take warning signs to anything around them, and they go anyways. And this whole Matt's creep ass character had me like just grossly unsettled. I found myself not fully understanding the dialogue and left myself like scratching my head, like how this family doesn't know anything about each other. Why don't they really have anything in common? I mean, this is like a family. Like, what? However, dude, all that changed the second we got this twist. And with this twist, I felt myself remembering certain parts of the movie that had like subtle dialogue that I fully didn't understand. And now everything's starting to click and everything's starting to make sense. This isn't a real family. This is a makeshift family of killers who's on a vacation of murder and mayhem. And I love the ending of this movie so much because it truly made me laugh, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was giggling when they were on the boat and they were leaving, like after everything had gone down and watching that dude get shot in the back running away, like everything is now pinned on him. I'm like, let's go. Let's go. Dude doesn't have a trace of DNA on him from anyone on the island, and he's gonna get pinned on it.
Oh yeah.
However, I did only get one watch on this movie because we've been swamped at work. The way I've been doing things is I like to watch it fully through, then write my like little recap, and then watch it again to do my notes so I could try to catch things. This is the first movie in a little while where I really want to go back and rewatch this again to catch everything that I missed on the first watch, knowing now how this turns out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give this a 6.7. If I'm being 100% honest, right up until the twist, this was like a low ass 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe a high 3. Like I was not feeling this movie. I was very like, this is dreary, like it's dragging, like I pick up the pace. Like I get the small hints of comedy, but for like the first legit 40 minutes, I was expecting more out of this family. I wanted to see more. But when we did get that twist, we got it. And I'm glad we got the mayhem at the ending for like the last 15 minutes instead of getting a twist 15 minutes into the movie and then being left hanging and them trying to stretch out this reveal for the next 40 minutes. I like the fact that they brought this twist at the end of the movie and just went 1,000 miles an hour once that twist happened.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well said. We're kind of like really close about this one. So I wrote my notes where I'm like, so this wasn't boring. I love Nick Frost. Super fun twist. I did accidentally guess it and almost text you 3 minutes into the movie just only because of Lowlifes. And I almost said,
that's why I mentioned it in the comment, like the beginning of my notes. And that's why I was like, I'm gonna write this into my notes because I'm taking my notes as I'm watching the movie. And I wanted to put that in there so I didn't forget.
Yeah, I said it to my wife. I said, I swear to God, if this family, like, she didn't watch it with me, she was just next to me when I was watching. I'm like, but that's only because we watched Lowlifes. But this movie it's fun. It's also very uneven, and it did take a little bit to get going. But the thing that I just think I would have liked a little more explanation. Like, a little more backstory of like why they are doing this, a little more info of
Like
more
when they're sitting around that campfire, and he's like, "We brought him last time. Give me a campfire story real quick."
we needed more of this hit. Like you needed to drop somewhere in there more. And I also wrote, oh my God, I can't speak. I also wrote, didn't the daughter get shot? Like, shouldn't she be messed up? Didn't the dad like get a sword through his mouth and like are they superhuman? Like I'm a little
Dude, I'm guessing they probably took something to kick this night off.
Like-
Like they probably injected themselves with like pure adrenaline.
yeah. Like
They
show
had
us
to have
I don't know.
done
Like
something.
I thought that was a little weird, and like I said, it was just uneven. I would have liked a little bit more backstory. You could drop it through hints and stuff, like why.
Yeah,
were
like
they-
when dude, when they're eating like breakfast and like having those conversations.
yeah,
Like be like, remember that time down in like Colombia, or like remember that time in Cancun, or remember that time in
Yeah.
Texas.
and
You
that
know, to give like small stories, but you leave out the murder and mayhem to try and make it more family related.
that's
And then
what
when
pissed
all
me
this shit
off.
happens, then it will click.
So all right, so I give this movie a 6.9 out of 10 because like I said, like it's fun stupid watch. Like it's fine. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's not awful. Like it's a fun mindless watch. It has fun twists and stuff. So I mean, it's a solid watch. Nothing I really ever want to really watch again. I don't think it's gonna be super memorable, but like I said, it is a good time, and I love Nick Frost, and that's what I got.
You know what I would be okay with? A getaway too.
Yeah,
Not this family at all, but they mentioned something about like an international group
yeah,
where you get a getaway too and put a different spin on it. You know what I mean? But use
Mhm.
like the same premise that like there is an organization that is strictly for killers. And they go to these areas that are like heavily secluded, like it's a vacation or something along those lines, or they rope someone in and everything just gets flipped up, like flip the script. I'd be
I just
okay
wish
with
there-
something like that.
Yeah, I wish there was a more emotional reason why they were there. Like, what were they doing there? Like, why were they there? Like, she mentioned something earlier how like
About her
family-
great grandfather was one of the people that got killed by them.
But at that point, is that even true? Like, or is that fake? Everything's fake. Each person has 3 names. So I'm like, wait, was that true? Was that not true? Because they never mentioned it again. So I'm just
She
like,
said great so many times. I don't think it's true.
I don't think it's true either. So that's why I was just kind of like, I wish there was like, I wish we knew more of why they were doing this. Like, had an attachment to like their why, their purpose in life. I guess just
Like, bro, based
that-
off their age and the fact
Yeah.
that it was 200 years ago, I think maybe a great grandfather.
yeah.
But she was like great.
Yeah, so even like that just seemed fake. So I don't know. I wish I had that, but like I said, it was whatever. It was a fun watch. It had me guessing.
Like I said, dude, low 4, and then after that twist, dude, 6.7. I kind of want to rewatch it and see what else I can catch.
So that was fun. So I did have to. I kind of fast forwarded through parts and did watch a little bit of it again, and like that was the cool part because it does make a lot more. Like when you watch that first half again, there's so many parts of how awkward they're acting, and even just like the looks and stuff they get. It does. It's cool. Like watching that again. So that is kind of cool.
All right, you got any fun facts?
So basically, I got Nick Frost actually did write this too. He did not direct it, but who directed it? We got Stefan Harz directed it, but Nick Frost wrote it. Pretty solid tagline. We got "Get ready for a killer holiday." Thought that was pretty cool. This takes place in Sweden, but for some reason it was shot in Finland. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that's all I got. You got anything?
All right, so there was very little when I was like trying to find stuff.
Yeah.
When Susan remarks to Richard about the ketchup on his jacket, it's actually a callback to the repeated Shaun of the Dead
Oh.
refrain. You've got red on you.
You got red on.
And I was
you.
like, Shaun of the Dead characters, I appreciate it.
Let's go.
Did you know the license plate of the British family's rental car is in the wrong font? I didn't know they used different fonts,
I don't even
but
remember.
this is most likely because it's fake and it was shot in Finland.
There we go.
All the Swedes are playing. All the Swedes are played by Finnish actors, even though it was shot in Finland, and they constantly mispronounce Swedish words.
So weird.
I love it.
So weird.
But that's about all I got.
Let's go.
So hack, stab, slash. Unless Justin needs to take another pee break on our outro, I think that
I'm
about
good.
wraps it up.
Let's go.
Flush it, clean off the seat because I know you dribble.
Oh,
I'm your boy Hacky.
uncalled for. Just Justin. Have the best day ever.
Later.